morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Who studied their lesson? Raise your hand if you did. Kinda? So do you know what this title is about? Like, what does this mean to you? Who were the sisters? Martha and Mary. Oh, okay. Ashley? No. Yes, Ashley. Okay. Okay, so did you guys go over your power text? Okay, let's review it together. Okay. Does anyone want to volunteer to read the power text? No? Go ahead. Alex?
Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die, and whosoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe
this? What does this verse mean? What do you guys understand from this verse? According to what the story was about, since you read your lesson. Let's go through the first part. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life, and who believes in me will live, even though they die. So what does that mean? You read your lesson, right, about Martha and Mary? What do you think that means, according to the lesson? Ashley, do you remember? What happened to Martha and Mary?
They got sad because their brother had died.
Because their brother died, and Jesus came, right, to comfort them? Okay, so, well, let's go through the lesson and then we'll understand better the verse, okay? Okay, so the lesson says that it was a very bright day, right? The sun was out, just like today, the sun was out and the birds were chirping. It was a beautiful day. But for these people, there was a dark cloud over the sun, because they were so sad. And why were they sad? Because their brother died, Lazarus, right? So Jesus and the disciples were walking towards Martha's house. They were still far away, and then a little boy comes running through the field and screams out, "You missed the funeral. It was 4 days ago." And the disciples felt bad that they had missed the funeral, and they were so late. They were 4 days late. Lazarus was 4 days late. 4 days dead, I'm sorry. And they were talking amongst each other, and they were saying, you know, why did we take so long to get here? I feel kind of bad showing up late to the funeral. And, like, I feel kind of sad looking at Mary because we're so late and we weren't there to comfort her. And they were, like, groaning and talking amongst each other, but Jesus didn't seem to notice. When they turned to Jesus, Jesus was just resting on a rock next to by the road. And they were asking, you know, why is Jesus so calm? Why isn't he, a little upset that we're late? But they were like, you know what, I think it's because he's sad about Lazarus dead. I think it's harder on him. Like, a friend of his had died. You know, do you guys can understand how sad Jesus was? Like, have you guys ever had, like, a pet or something pass away? Has everyone ever experienced that? Yeah? Sebastian? And then, so then they saw that, they saw someone coming from afar. And Peter said, look, it's Martha. Martha was approaching them because she had seen him from afar, and she was excited that Jesus was here. So then she comes running and she tells Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, this wouldn't have happened. Lazarus would be alive. And Jesus, with a calm voice, he tells her to believe that he is life and that he will be okay. And then he reminds her of the verse that we just read, right? I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even if he dies. So now that we know a little bit of the story of what happened, Lazarus died and they were coming to see him. Like, what do you think this verse means? And what did it mean to Martha in that moment? Can you guys think about that a little bit? Like, in that moment when Martha was super sad, she had just lost her brother. Who has siblings here? Are you an only child? Do you have siblings? Everyone has siblings here. Okay, so, do you guys see your siblings every day, get along with them, and one day they're gone, you would feel devastated and sad. So that's how Martha was feeling in that moment. So for Jesus to tell her these words, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even if he dies. It was kind of like a promise to her, right? So he was super calm, and she said, yes, Lord, I believe in you, and I believe in the miracles that you can do. So then she goes back to the village and comes back with Mary, her sister. Right? So they both come, and they're both crying, and they're at Jesus' feet, and saying, Mary says it as well, Lord, if you had been here, this wouldn't have happened. Lazarus would have been alive. But then Jesus reminds them the same thing, that he is life, and even though someone has died, they will live. Do you guys see that as like a promise from Jesus, a way of comforting? Can you guys imagine Jesus comforting you in that moment of sadness? Yeah? Can you guys picture that for a little bit? Okay, so when they were crying, Jesus started crying too. He started crying because he was sad that he had just lost a friend, and also because he was also human. Just as much as he was Lord, he was also human. He came in human flesh, so he felt sad and he wept. But just like Martha and Mary had this faith for Jesus, had this faith in Jesus in that moment of sadness, and they believed that he was able to create a miracle for their brother, that's how we should come to Jesus when we have problems in our life, or when we need that comforting from him. Okay? So, we're going to go through some questions. Through some deep questions, okay? So, why do you guys think Jesus did not go into Martha's house? Because Lazarus was dead?
No, he was.
No, it's okay. Look, explain your answer. He didn't want to go in there.
Felt bad that he wasn't there.
Because he was sad that he was there. Okay, so that's a good answer. What other reason do you think? So remember, Jesus and the disciples didn't get to Martha's house. Remember, they were walking to Martha's house, but they didn't get there. The little boy came running across the field. Martha came running to Jesus, and she went back, got Mary, and then they came back. So they weren't in Martha's house. Sebastian, why do you think they didn't go into Martha's house?
Because the people didn't believe that Jesus would resurrect.
Resurrected?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That's a good answer. Think about this. Let's just think about this. When you guys pray and want an intimate time with Jesus, when you guys either are feeling sad, or you guys have a test and you want to pray to Jesus to help you, or for any reason that you guys pray to Jesus, don't you feel more connected to him when it's a quiet moment and you're able to talk to him? Do you guys agree? Or when you guys are trying to have a meaningful conversation with your friends, wouldn't you want to speak with them when it's quiet and you guys can hear each other without screaming at each other because it's so loud? Right? You guys want to be able to hear and listen to you, whatever your friend's telling you, or when they're comforting you clearly, right? So that's why he didn't go into Martha's house, because there was all their family was there, everyone was coming, mourning together, they were crying together, so there was a lot of noise going on in Martha's house. So he wanted to stay away from the house and be able to comfort Martha in a quiet place. Okay? Do you guys get that? So why did he go into the house? I just explained it. Why did he go into the house? Do you guys... Angel, why did he go into the house? Maritza? I just explained why he didn't go into the house. Remember? Because he wanted to be in a quiet place to talk to Martha and Mary. Why didn't he go into the house?
Because he wanted to be in a quiet place.
He wanted to be in a quiet place. He wanted to be able to comfort her away from all the noise, right? Okay. Question number 2. Why did Jesus perform miracles? And do you believe that Jesus performed miracles? Why did Jesus perform miracles? To what? To help the people that needed the miracles? Okay. What else? Should I start calling volunteers? Yeah? Okay, so just, any answer is okay. Why do you, it doesn't even have to be the right answer. Why do you believe that Jesus performed miracles? Let's see, Lumi. Why did Jesus perform miracles? Why do you think?
To show people that they should believe.
They should believe? Okay, that's a good answer. What else? Angel, what do you think?
To prove that he's the Son of God.
To prove that he's the Son of God and that he's powerful and he's able to conduct these miracles? Okay, those are all really good questions. And do you believe that Jesus actually performed these miracles? Raise your hand if you do believe that Jesus performed the miracles. Raise your hand if you do believe that Jesus performed the miracles. Angel, you don't believe? Okay. Okay, thank you for your answers. Last question. So, what does this passage tell you about Jesus? So, remember that moment when he was crying? Do you guys remember that moment when he cried?
Yeah.
Why did he cry?
Because he's a human being.
Because he was a human being. And human beings are sad, right?
Yeah.
They get sad when sad things happen. So, he was sad about the death of his friend. So, what does this tell you about him? And in the moment of you being sad and need comforting, he's also there to help you. So what does this tell you about him, about Jesus? Let's see. Well, what's your name? Isaac. What does this tell you about Jesus?
That he's human too.
That he's human too, right? So do you think that since he was there to comfort Mary and Martha when they were sad, that he can do the same for you? Yeah, okay. Let's see, so one more person. He already answered. Have you guys ever been in a situation where you needed Jesus' help? No? You've never been in a situation where you needed Jesus' help? Never.
Something serious or something like
Anything. Anything. It could be anything. It could be like as simple as you're feeling stressed or you're feeling, and you ask Jesus for help. Or you feel like you're in danger and you ask for help. Or you're thankful about something, or a friend is sick, or a family member is sick, and you need God to help them heal them. I mean, we've all been in situations where we need Jesus, right? Right? Okay? Can someone give me an example of when they've prayed for something that they needed Jesus? Do you guys pray when you eat? Yeah? Do you guys pray when you're in the car? There's so many accidents that happen every day and we need Jesus' angels to help us too, right? There's so many reasons why we need Jesus. So just like he was there for Martha and Mary, and we see how he was able to comfort them, and even though Lazarus had died, he was there to comfort them with a warm and calm voice. He's also there when you need his help, okay? So don't forget to pray when you're feeling sad, or when you're feeling mad, or when you need help in a test, or to even, not only when you need him also, but to thank him for what he's done. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.